Hey everyone, it's Will and James.
We recently watched the premiere episode of a brand new globe-trotting reality competition series on NBC called Destination X and absolutely loved it.
We had the honor of sitting down with the first eliminated contestant, and here's the interview.
Hey, Josh.
How's it going?
It's good to see you. I mean, sad with the circumstances of you being out first.
Stab to the heart. My ego's destroyed, dude.
Well, we loved watching the premiere last night. It's such a fun and exciting show. And obviously, it's no secret, like Jeffrey Dean Morgan said at the end of the episode, you are a reality gladiator. You've done Big Brother, you've done the challenge many times. So, what kind of was the intrigue to want to sign up to do Destination X?
First off, I just want to say they saved the best for last. I've been interviewing since 10 a.m. this morning. And
Oh my goodness.
I'm really excited to be talking to you guys. But I honestly, when I got the email, I got home from filming the Telemundo show. I was home for a week and I had a whole bunch of messages from casting and like emails from NBC. And I was like, NBC, hold on. And I just said yes. I had no idea what the show was. I saw the offer. So I just said yes, but I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But you guys know I'm an adventure junkie. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I love to travel. I love to compete. So instantly I was all in, but I really had no idea what I was getting. I was scared, but that's exactly why I said yes. Because I was like, I have no idea what this is. Screw it, let's do it, you know?
Are you like a big traveler? Like, have you been many places?
Yes, dude. I was in Rome literally
Oh, that's right. You said that.
with my family for 2 weeks.
Oh,
Oh my
But as soon
God.
as the bus doors opened and I saw the sidewalk and the gate, I said, I'm in front of the Coliseum. I literally said that. I was like, I can't believe they didn't air that, but I said, oh my God, I'm in front of the Coliseum. And I knew it, dude. I knew it. It sucked. But yeah, I had been there before, 2, 3 times before. I'm not even going to blame it on my geography because I feel like I would have done well with all the other, no leaks, but like all the other destinations. I'm like, I've been there. Like I would have done well.
Yeah.
The game was so fast paced and I just let everything just kind of flood my brain.
well, I also can't
So,
imagine like how disorienting it is. You're completely on a bus that's completely blacked out. Like you can't see your surroundings. So that in itself is so disorienting. So give yourself some grace.
yeah.
That was the hardest part for me. I think you guys know me and you guys been around me and I didn't realize like I'm claustrophobic and I didn't know that until I got on the bus. But also I can't sit still. Production would scream at us, you can't move from your seat when we're driving. So we would have to sit there for hours. And I think that 10th, 11th hour in the bus ride, I was like, oh shit.
When you started until the Coliseum, like how many days was that actually?
Max 3 to 4 or 5 days.
Wow. So they really
That's so
throw you
long.
off. They really want to make
Oh,
sure you don't know where you're at.
dude, we were on a bus ride for 2 days straight. The reason why a lot of people thought Milan was because we started, I would say like Tuscany or whatever. And we
Yeah.
looked at the window for a few seconds and we saw a hillside. I mean, I thought Tuscany, I'm like, this is Italy, but I don't know where at. But then after that, we were traveling for like 2 days. So yeah, they threw you off, dude. They really did.
So these goggles, are these how heavy are they, one? Because I'm like, how, I don't know, I just want to know. But also, like, how disorienting was that? Because it looked like there were lights inside, like blinding you, or was it
Yeah.
like a video? Like, what was going on with these goggles?
They felt pretty heavy. I hated them. They were completely blurred out. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be able, you guys know me. I'm a sneaky fuck. So I'm like, I'm gonna be able to peek out of these. No, you couldn't see shit. They were blacked out and then there was obviously lights, so you couldn't see. Like you were really in the dark. They would put headphones like the ones you have on you, and you couldn't hear or see shit every time you left the bus until you got to like location to film the challenge, and then goggles, headphones back on, back on the bus. So you couldn't see shit.
It kind of felt like watching it was almost like Big Brother on wheels. Like you really were being recorded at all times in this confined space and you weren't allowed outside until it was a challenge. Did it feel
It
very
felt like
similar?
it was Big Brother on steroids on wheels just because the game was so fast paced. This was the second show I've done outside of the challenge, but this was way more fast paced. And like the challenge is pretty cut and dry. Like I know I'm going against you. Either I win. If you win, I'm going in. So it's pretty straight
Mhm.
up. This was like hungry newbies ready to game, and it was just game, game, game from the moment we stepped on the bus. So it was so intense.
Yeah.
All hours of the day, just nonstop gameplay and like figuring out where you were at. So people were going stir crazy. I mean, I definitely did.
Which is why I
Yeah.
think I really loved the premiere because, sometimes with new shows, I feel like it takes a while for a cast to find their footing. But I was so impressed with how many of your castmates were already so invested in the game. And I was very impressed. And I'm curious your thoughts, being such an avid gamer yourself. And that first challenge with Allie and Mac. Quick thinking on Allie's part to pick up the sausage tag, but for Mac to say, hey, let's double up our tags. What did you think about this play?
For them to team up that fast was very surprising. To be honest with you, instantly the alarms went off, like all red flags. I was like, all right, they're gamers. Threats. I'm coming after them. Like, I need to do something. So you see me talking with the guys. I'm like, we need to keep an eye on Mac and Allie. I hit it off with Allie, so that was good for me. But yeah, instantly I was like, all right, they're here to game. And I think that's what really put the game into motion for me, where I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit back and kind of build relationships. And I was like, no, you got to play, because they came to play. And they killed it with this group. They really did. It's such a good group.
It is a
Yeah.
good group. I'm curious. I mean, I know there's probably a ton. I mean, you're on a bus for 48 hours. There's probably a ton that they cut out in terms of the social dynamics. Were there people that you really connected with, or like, did you have an alliance? Like, what was the inner workings of your kind of strategy those first couple days?
I wasn't even thinking, I was just thinking like genuinely like get to know these people, and then I just
Yeah.
hit people. But yeah, I did. There was a little bit of an alliance between me, Shane, and Biggie. And then I would say with Ali and Tay and that group, the group that I teamed up with, we were aligned and we were looking out for each other. And that's why I regret so much not listening to them, dude. Like, I was such an idiot. And I feel like I let them down because they
Yeah.
were all locked in on Rome. And then I flipped. I was stupid. But yeah, definitely them. And I think if I would have survived this, I think I would have been in a really good spot. I would have done really
Yeah.
well.
What did he say to you that really flipped your thought process of picking Rome versus Milan? Like, did he say something besides just like it's Milan, or
So you guys see that little quick thing, the
Right.
whole
yeah?
night before we stayed up, and it was just Rome, Milan, Rome,
Mm,
and everybody was just comparing notes. And I went to bed just
yeah,
spin. So it was just like the night prior. And then obviously that last hour, even going in, I'm like, it's Rome. That's it. You heard the noise, you heard the chat, you heard everybody out. It's Rome. And then when I sat in the 2 minutes, it felt like life or death. I can't even lie to you. That map room is fucking terrifying. And that's what's gonna make for good TV, because it's so unpredictable. You're never gonna know, because when that 2 minute clock starts, the pressure's on. So everything, producers go, oh, tell us what your train of thought. And I'm like, I just went blank. I'm like, and then I'm like, by the time I look at the clock, is in like a minute left. I'm like, oh shit. So it was nuts, dude. I'm bummed the way that I went out. Even if I didn't win, I wanted the full experience.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sucks. Yeah, it's way harder than it seemed, dude. And I mean, you guys won race, so you know this shit ain't easy.
Honestly, like we were watching, and I was like, I kind of know like the general area that they're in, but when it
Yeah.
came to like the map, I was like, to be honest, don't really know.
Like a big ass map, and you got to zoom into like the exact. You know what's crazy too about that? I'm sorry, now I'm spiraling, but I'm like, even I was like, it's the first one. It has to be the Colosseum. This is my gut telling me this. This is
Right.
God coming through me. Like, and then my dumbass just goes and listen to everything that was going on the bus. I have no regrets. There's a lot of lessons that I'm taking. So like when the next time I go play another show, it's just like, all right, noted. Like I could just only learn from the big ass mistake that I made.
With all of that and how it played out, do you think you kind of like underestimated maybe the strategy of how this game was to be played?
100%. I think that, well, this was what was tough. I didn't win the first challenge, so I had to solely relay off of these people that I just met. So
Right.
then I went into social game. I was like, all right, I did a good job at that because my team was right. I think what I underestimated was I didn't realize how fast paced the game was going to be, and like being trapped on the bus. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, are we really trapped on the bus? Like, do we go into a hotel at night? Like,
Right.
this is NBC. No, you're not getting off of this shit. And to be real with you guys, like to give you a little bit of a timeline, I went straight from the Telemundo show. I was home for probably a week, probably 7, 8 days, and I went straight into a flight Belgium on that bus. So I wasn't even like disconnected from the last show.
Yeah.
And I'm so disappointed in myself because I wish that I would have had a little bit of air because I feel like I would have been like my mentally I would have been in a better space. So I think just that and then being thrown in that game, I was just like whacked.
That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. I think people underestimate coming off the show, what it feels like or what it does to someone psychologically. And you really just kind of want to hibernate and kind of regroup with your life
Yeah.
and get back into your routine. So, yeah, jumping right into Destination X, that would have been a mind fuck.
Thankfully, I've
Uh,
had a bit of a break now, so now I'm like eager to play again. But
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like we saw you right after you had gotten back from,
I,
I think, this show.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think
oh
so.
my God, yeah, you're right. We saw each other in Miami. You're so right.
Yeah, to be honest, for me, the one thing that would be so hard is the bus. I really feel like I would go crazy. Not being able to see out the window, not being able to leave, like no fresh air, that would literally ruin my mental health.
Dude, by day three, it smelled like a locker room in there.
Oh my
I was hearing
God.
Rick talking and I was ready to curse him out. I was like, dude, I'm about to lose my shit. You know, some people you gravitate towards and some people you
Yeah,
can. There was just people in there that I was like, oh, just shut up. Like,
Inevitable.
yeah.
It's such a confined, tiny space, and you're sharing like bunk beds.
At least on Big Brother, you had like you could go to another room. Like you could go like
exactly. Like,
hide for a little
that's what
bit.
I'm saying. I'm like, you could go run, you could go for a jog, or like go sit by yourself in the restroom, like something. In here, you couldn't really escape it, and that was tough.
Coming from Big Brother and the challenge, and you obviously shared that with your castmates, did any of them kind of have a wall up with you already to be like, oh, I don't want to give Josh too much information because of your background with reality competition?
I think Rick and Mac. Listen, I can't judge based on because they never shared this with me, but I felt an energy shift as
Yeah,
soon as I opened up about what I've done. Rick, the way he was looking at me, just like the way he would talk to me was very like would give me very little, or like it just always felt like it was like a guard up with him. So I never really fully trusted him. But then I did gain a lot of people like like Biggie and Ali and Shane and all them kind of took me in. So I felt good. So even though I lost trust with some people, I think it helped me more than it hindered me.
Speaking of Rick, you left in grand fashion from the bus and you kind of gave a speech where you called him out a little bit. Talk us through that thought process and do you foresee it potentially having a domino effect, or was that kind of your hope at the time?
I don't blame Rick for the way that I went out.
Oh yeah,
I
no.
That was my dumbass mistake. It was me versus me, and I fumbled. I fumbled that. So I don't blame Rick, but my intent was I'm gonna blow up his game and kind of like draw attention to his game in order to like I wanted to see my team that I had played that challenge with, and I wanted to see the people that I connected with go further.
Yeah.
And these games, if there's a target, then all the focus is on them. And I kind of just wanted people to just catch on to his gameplay. So in true Josh fashion, I was like, I'm gonna
I
call
loved it. I was eating it up.
yeah, and I thought it was really nice because you guys know my style is a little more aggressive. So I was like, I thought it was really nice about it. But no, it was all for gameplay. Like Rick is a nice guy, but I wanted to
yeah.
blow up on the way out.
Well,
And hope
he definitely seems like a gamer. Like if I was on that bus with him, he would be someone I would have an eye on. So I think you clocked it. Like I think he's going to be one to watch.
oh, you just wait, buddy.
My last question, I don't know if you have another one, Will, but my last question is Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Like he is the man, the myth, the legend. Love him from Walking Dead. What was it like having him as the host of Destination X?
Obviously, The Walking Dead was huge, but I was literally days before going out was watching The Boys. Like everybody back home was watching, all my cousins and my
That's
brothers were
right.
watching The Boys. So I literally watched like 3, 4, 5 episodes. So when he pulls up, I freaked out. I fangirled, and I don't really fangirl often, but I was really down to earth. God, they picked the perfect host. It makes us excited as castmates when your hosts are really into it and they're invested in it, and you could tell that he
Yeah.
was into it. When the cameras weren't rolling, he would come over and talk to us and shit like that. And so like the short time that I was there, he was so nice to me. I mean, it stung because he told me he was betting on me to take it all. So I was like, I feel like I let him down, but yeah, he was a good dude, man. He's a great guy, and I was happy that
That's
they brought him on.
yeah, he's great. That's a lot of pressure to be told they thought you were going to win.
And he's like, I really can't do this, but you were my winner pick. I was like, no, don't tell me this now.
Hey, but flattering though, I will say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Josh, we obviously loved watching you on Destination X. Even if your time was cut short, I think you made an impact, and I look forward to
Hmm.
seeing the domino effect of Rick moving forward. Would you do it again?
100%. And this time I would do it way better. I need my redemption. I mean, everything NBC produces now turns into a hit. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping more and more seasons. I learned from my mistakes and just to trust myself, dude. So I would go in there and I would play way more aggressive. But hell yeah, I would
Yeah.
do it. And now I know what I'm getting myself into. I truly had no idea, guys. I saw the dollar signs and I was like, yeah, put me in. Just gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real. But now, like seeing what it is and what it's gonna turn into, it's like I would really, really lock in
I'm sure we'll see you on something soon.
soon, soon.
It
You
was
guys are
great
awesome.
chatting with you, Josh.
Yes.
You guys were. I'm so happy I ended my day with you guys. You guys are great. You guys are fucking. You guys are. It feels like I'm talking. Yeah, well, I am talking with friends. So it
We're
was awesome.
just, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're homies.
I'm sure we'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
You too. Bye, Josh.
Bye.